Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and pool fans from viewing from around the world to the 2025 Derby City Classic. It's been a great week so far here at Caesars, Southern Indiana, just outside of Louisville. In front of me is a 5 by 10 foot diamond, all right? And this is one of the fan favorite tournaments going on each and every year, and it's one of the toughest tournaments ever to win because you got 16 elite players, best in the world, on this 5 by 10 single elimination action. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the Diamond Bigfoot 10-Ball Championship. We are just one match away to find out who is going to be moving on to the championship. These two have made it into the Final Four, and it's time to go. Here we go. First up, he's a 2000 and... hold on. First up, World 9-Ball Champion, also World 8-Ball Champion, and 2003 World Team Champion, and he's 6-time member of Team Europe for the Mosconi Cup. And ladies and gentlemen, he is the defending champion of the Bigfoot. He's sponsored by Predator, Apex Tables, How Tips, and Andy Cloth from Bad Honnef, Germany. Make some noise for the killer, Joshua FILLER. And his opponent is a 2007 World Champion runner-up, International One-Pack Champion, and the 2018 Derby City Bigfoot Champion. Sponsored by J Flowers, Bogies Billiards, and Leb 91. From Zamboanga, Philippines, the Superman, Roberto Gomez. Our referees, Ricky Bryant, we're lagging for the break and sending it up to Nick Varner and Mark Wilson in the Accu-Stats Skybox.
Hello again, everybody, and ACCUSTATS presents semifinal action from the Bigfoot Challenge at the 26th Annual Derby City Classic. Hall of Famer Nick Varner is here with me today. I'm Mark Wilson. And Nick, give me an opening thought for this one.
I tell you what, my first thought that comes into my mind on this match is it's like the OK shootout at the OK Corral. I mean, you talk about high-powered power offense coming up.
Right. Well, you know, it was a most interesting contradiction of styles yesterday when Filler played. He made one hard shot throughout the entire match because he only had to shoot one hard shot throughout the entire match. He played perfect position. It was a smothering style. He played defense and ran out every time. I think he only broke and ran out one rack, yet his TPA was way up there in the 930s.
Well, it was an impressive match. First of all, his decision-making was right on the money. His defense was suffocating. And then, like you said, his position angles and patterns, he just was on perfect angles every single time to go to the next ball. It was a 9-ball or 10-ball clinic yesterday.
Well, his Fargo rating is 852. We can see how he would rise up to that amount. I've never heard of a number that high before. Gomez breaking. He's won the lag. This is a race to 10. The 10 does not win on the break. Looks like a dry break here.
Boy, he hit them hard. He's really got the power, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
But boy, he didn't get anything for it.
I think he's going to try to bank the one ball by the side pocket, maybe just beyond. No, he's going the other way. He's going to try to back cut this and bring the cue ball around. Oh, nicely executed. Man, what a shot. What a shot that was. Now, Roberto, he can definitely go rail first and hit this. The question is, what does he want to do with it?
Well, one possible option is he can, I think, go rail first and maybe get it on that the top rail there, and even tried to make it. Had a chance to pocket the ball. And he's come out, I think, pretty good. I'm not sure he can see all of this one.
Well, he made some good decisions early in the match, and that really set up the match yesterday, where he just did not let his man get off the mark.
No, he was on the. What you might say, he was on the 50-yard line the whole match.
Yeah. A rare open miss from Villard to start the match.
Looks like this may go in the side. Now the 3-8, that's tricky.
Boy, it sure is. Guess he's going to have to take it on, though. And he's not going to be able to reach that easily.
There we go, where he's got to cut it a whole bunch. He'd like to have been a little fuller on that 3-ball for the combination. I would say he might consider a safety here, but he's pretty well.
Fixated, yeah.
He's pretty well
Locked in.
looking to pocket.
Oh, you're betting the game on this shot.
Yes.
Good job. Oh, he picked up a nice shot on the secondary object ball as well.
Yeah, that was really a nice shot there. And the 4 is pretty handy there. You don't have to go far here, and then he's got to go up and get the 5 by the side.
And you want to, you can back cut that 5 in the side and go, 3 cushions around to the 6. That plays pretty nice. Or you can play position from here to just get on the 5 ball in the far corner.
Yeah, I think what he may do here is spin around the horn there with follow and left English, and then try to get the back cut on the 5, where that sets him up for the 6. He can go 2 or 3 rails here, and they're pretty well taking their places now.
Definitely wants an angle on the 6. How's his speed? Looks pretty.
A little hot.
A little hot. Okay. He wanted that angle. Well, in that particular circumstance, that's where had he played the cue ball to pocket the 6 in the far corner, this is not the issue. That you can glide across with much greater control. Nice shot.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't that something? They make this 10-footer look like it's a 9-footer or even less.
Yeah, maybe like a bar box, that shot.
That was a dangerous shot.
This is a key shot, though. You can't forget to make this one. This is not exactly duck soup. I mean,
you can see it's the awkward bridge where you can't quite bridge from the rail, but it's not comfortable. You have to kind of contort your bridge on the bed. Gorgeous.
Got it down.
Gorgeous. He stayed still and went straight through.
He did something on that shot on that 9-ball that you recommend sometime for everybody to try in the clinics, Mark, where you just set up to the cue ball and you just shoot. You never take a practice stroke.
That's a training exercise to make you lock in and get on there right to begin with. That part's good, yeah.
He was getting locked in on that.
Yeah.
He was locked in.
Well, he took advantage of the rare open miss from Filler.
Yeah, Filler hit that one a little bit fat, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know he could hit enough of it to cut it in the side, but he could have.
.10 is our score. This is a race to 10.
One other thing yesterday, Filler kind of he got control of mostly every game behind this break.
Yeah.
He didn't run out too much, but he got control. He usually put the other guy in a bad spot.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to pin the cue ball up, and he succeeded every time. And that was sometimes moving the cue ball a great deal of distance to get that really hemmed up, where it would only be a 2-rail kick that was awkward angle. He had ball in hand 8 times from his defensive play.
So. 8 times.
Yeah.
And he cashed, I think, every time.
Yeah, I don't remember him faltering at all. Got the corner ball in. Oh, the 2 just trickled up in front of the 1. That's going to deny him direct access. Well, this isn't an easy push out either. What do you think, Nick?
Well, it's a tough one to push out.
You almost have to push out to a kick. You can't push out where Roberto can see it straight on because he'll know the defense or the offense just as well. Is he going to try to rub that 6 on top of the 3? Yep. Nice idea there.
Yeah, that made it a little tougher. And this is no bargain anyway because it's
Right.
you can't stop in time for the 2, and you're liable to get tangled up. Could even maybe that upper side pocket might it might be in play when you cut it in. He may just play safe here. No.
What a
I
nice
didn't
shot.
think he could stop it that quick.
What a nice shot that
I thought
was.
it
Well,
was
he-
way too thin. How good to hit that ball, but he hit it super fat.
Right, right.
He used the whole pocket there.
Right.
And he's actually pretty good where he can just, I think he can draw straight back. He might have too much angle. Yeah, he had to go the rail. Boy, he ended up super thin on this 3. Wow.
I think it's okay, though. I mean, I know he wanted something a little bit thicker than this, but that 5 does give you a little bit of relief if you hit it pretty good.
Looks like he's playing safe.
Yeah, he's not going to even play for it.
Nice touch. Nice touch on the speed, huh? Putting that 8 right between the cue ball and the 3.
Wow, very nicely played.
Well, he pretty well has to go for the bank cross side here. At least I don't see anything better. And he's looking at it right now. He's aiming real hard to see where he's got to hit this 3. He trying to see that line he needs to cut that 3 on. Wow, overcut it a hair.
Missed it on the pro side. You always want to miss that thick, but so you have to purposely overcompensate just because when you cut across that 3 ball, it puts the wrong type of twist on it.
Well, that's a disappointing miss because that bank, but it just shows you that the banks, it's so easy to catch the points of the pocket that.
Well, and plus the way he hit it, that's in a 9-foot table.
Yeah.
Boy, firepower supreme.
Pretty good, awful good speed control there.
And that comes about when you hit the pocket right where you're intending to hit it. Now your speed control is enhanced because you're not, wobbling it in and hitting thicker or thinner on the object ball. There's a term called missing in the pocket, meaning you pocketed the object ball but hit the wrong thickness of it.
Well, in a shot like that too, the speed's pretty volatile. If you hit the ball a little thicker or thinner, some it don't matter so much, but that one it does.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Steve Wiggum, table 35. Steve Wiggum, table 35. You are on the clock.
Does he go 3 rails here or just bounce off?
I think 3 rails. He had a little more angle than or perhaps he had to hit that thin based on how the cue ball tracked to get the 3 rails because he was pretty full on the object ball.
Yeah, that's why he just barely, wouldn't mind being up there between the sides. He's a little shorter than you like, but he shoots so straight. I don't look for him the way he's been playing. Yeah, he just stopped his ball there, kind of cinched it.
Yep.
I was thinking he might draw back a foot or two there, but he actually went a little forward. Does he go 1 rail or 2?
He's stunning 2 cushions. No, he's rolling 2 cushions. This 10 ball would tie the score at 1 apiece. And he worked through a real nice rack there.
Tied it up 1-1. And it's Roberto's break. I'm sure Roberto feels like he let that one get away.
Yeah, there's nobody bet their life on that bank, that's for sure. But it's certainly a scoreable ball.
Yeah, you would be a sucker if you bet your life on any bank. They're easy and they're easy to miss, Mark.
He had a dead bank, Nick. A dead bank. That's what people that don't know anything about it would say. Sure. Had great crowds here all week. I mean, this is, it's the 26th annual, but it's built up, and you can just see, the energy. This is Monday afternoon. We got a capacity crowd here for this match.
Now, watch the power. He really hits this break with a lot of power. Watch that white ball when it hits that 1.
He aims slightly downward, but then gets flat right at the end. But sometimes doing so, he gets spin, unintended spin.
Look at that.
Good.
Took the 2 side pockets out of play. That ball flew up above the side, so
right.
That only left 2 pockets left. He had a chance to scratch in, but wow, I like that break.
Here's that Premier Billiards instant replay of the break. Yeah, just the balls fighting to go into the pocket.
That may be where he got his name Superman with that break, huh?
Yeah. Well, that hurt a little bit, getting pinned up on top of the 6. Now, he probably cannot go into it, but he can play a pre-planned safety on the 3. So he can work the cue ball. Maybe he can go into the 7.
Might be able to hit the 7.
No. Okay, yeah, this is a good idea right here. Don't force something.
He wants to cut off that top rail here.
Oh, beautiful shot.
If he can't hit below that side pocket, he's got a lot of problems. This is he's getting a taste of his own medicine on this one.
Yeah. This is how Filler left his putt yesterday, right here, where you have to try to create two cushion angles to get to something that's not natural at all.
Yeah, this is where his opponent yesterday was about every time Filler played safe.
All right. There was 2 or 3 times we were talking about the guy was in such a bad spot that you just take an intentional foul and try to tie something up and give up ball in hand, which you hate to give Filler ball in hand, but it was that bad.
Problem here, he's going to try to go to the end rail, the upper rail. The problem is I don't think he can hit it without hitting that 3rd rail, and if he hits the 3rd rail, power becomes getting a legal rail becomes a big issue unless he can hit it off the 2nd rail. He's going to try to put the 10 in play here. That's how tough a spot he's. That was a very good safety. Now the 4's here, so position on the 5 becomes the big key to winning this rack.
It's not too bad. He
Is he
played
gonna
position.
play
to
the
get,
combination?
He did. He got. I would have never played that position because if you don't fall just perfectly straight, that what's a diamond and a half apart.
Well, he's going to fall pretty darn good. The only place he could be better is closer. Closer.
Well, then if he's closer, he might not be able to reach it. This might be the optimum spot here for him.
Well, this comes from playing rotation.
Yeah. But still very, I mean, he's just a slightly favored over 50-50 to make this.
Well, he's treating it with respect. That's for sure.
Gorgeous
I
shot.
love to watch that queuing action.
Yeah.
Boy, how hard he aimed at that combination. I mean, that tip, he paused, and
Yeah.
I mean, for a considerable amount of time at the cue ball, he's really trying to lock in on that precise spot
Yeah.
to make that ball.
In the part of the pause, what you do is you allow your eyes to focus on where you want to hit. You want to let that glide so you're not jerky or apprehensive in your delivery. It's so easy to cut corners there, then just try to hope it into the pocket. It doesn't work like that. That was a big game there, 2-1. Got Chuck Laird tuned in from the doctor's office in Springfield, Illinois. Adam Granatelli up in just outside of Milwaukee. Welcome aboard. Good square break. 4 ball's going to find the side. The 5's trickling back. He can see the 1, but not a very good shot on the 1. 3 ball over there by the side pocket.
Yeah. He's going to try to go up table off this.
The one thing guys don't like to leave the 1 ball next to the 10 ball, so you have to be mindful of that.
Yeah. Nobody likes it when the 10 ball gets wired. Well, he actually had a chance to make it and run out with that option. That was pretty powerful. He just barely missed that bank.
Yeah, he did not take a conservative approach there. He was trying to do a lot with that shot by moving both balls, and he's going to have to pay a price now for that.
Yeah, he certainly gave up a big opportunity here.
Did he hit that on the way out, or was it? Did he overcut it that much? I guess we'd have to see the replay.
Yeah, it's almost like he hit the
rail before.
Yes.
Right.
Hey, Kevin Owen, adjourn it, please. Kevin Owen.
Oh boy, after watching the match yesterday, I kind of am super surprised with that miss there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he makes it look so easy when he's got everything just in flow. Looks like he'd never miss. Boy, Superman did a lot of good things there. Didn't he? Not just make the ball, but he kind of cleaned up the mess of making the balls far more accessible to
Except
run.
that 6 is kind of in a funny spot. The 3's easy enough to get on, but where do you come back across and play the 6 in the same pocket? Try to get that.
Oh, I did not expect that miss. After he made such a good shot, I guess he was struggling to get the cue ball where you said, so he could come across and play the 3 and the 6 on the same side, but it cost him pocketing the ball.
Yeah, I think he was. I think his attention got divided a little bit there between. Forgot to pocket the ball. He was concentrating so hard on that angle and must have took his eyes off the contact point. Of course, I always try to see that object ball move for my eyes, but you're just not going to do it every time. It's easy to do once, but it's not easy to do ball after ball after ball.
Right.
Especially when position gets to be so critical.
Yeah, when you look at the top tier players, they're all fit because your body gets tired, then you don't do the eye pattern or the concentration right. So by this stage of the tournament, you got nothing but fit guys. And you wouldn't think fitness is a big component of the pool, but at this level, you blink at the wrong time, it's going to cost you the match.
Well, stamina is so important in this game. Nowhere is it more important than here at the Derby because the playing schedule is pretty demanding.
Oh, incredible. Especially, it's not just you're just playing bank pool, one pocket, and 9-ball. Some of these guys are playing 10-ball too, and then you put a little practice time in there. These are full days, 10-hour days for sure.
Yeah, 4 events. That's.
Yep, and the 10-ball hits the bottom of the pocket. Our match is tied, 2 games apiece.
Once again, 2-2. I want to thank our main Bigfoot 10-ball sponsors for this tournament. Aramith, Simonis, and Diamond. Gomez will have the break in round 5.
Well, after this match, we will have Labutus, P.S. Labutus versus Gerson Martinez.
That was the first time I watched Labutus play last night. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's a very composed young guy, 27 years old.
And Martinez and Neuhausen, that was a big shocker with Neuhausen starting out 3-0 and hardly winning another game.
Yeah.
The worm turned there.
Oh,
how about that nice kiss on the 6 on the 2?
Well, that's why we can't complain sometimes on those kiss things, because sometimes it works out to our advantage. But we just mention it when it doesn't work out. That I got kissed in. Sometimes you get kissed out too.
Problem is, he's froze on the rail where the best he can get here, I think, unless it goes in that upper left corner, I think the best he can get's a bank or a safe. And he's got to hit it with a little speed. Well, he's pretty thin, so he can get up high enough.
Yeah, this is going to be a little tough to deal with.
Safe. Do you hook him here behind that 9-5-6?
He's going down table to the 8.
Bank?
No, he's going down to the 8 with the ball
8.
here. Not even going to fool with any of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Boy.
Well, if he gets
good
under
execution.
there, that's...
Yeah.
Well, you let him see it. I don't know if he can hit it full enough to play a very good safety, but...
That's a high-quality effort.
Yeah, if he misses that ball, he really had something effective on the safe. No, he doesn't. Is he just going to roll it up on that left rail? No, he's trying to take it all the way down.
I like the thinking there. He was prioritizing the 3 ball. Make sure you get it down here. Even if you don't get the cue ball tucked away perfect. You have to prioritize one thing or the other, the cue ball or the object ball. And so many times these safeties fail when people are split-minded.
Here you got to be a little careful. If you bring the 3 back down table, you don't make the 7 and 8 and hook yourself.
Right.
Oh, excellent.
Yep.
I don't believe he can hit no edge of this one, so. Now, you like going 1 rail or 2 rails on the kick here?
Well, if you can if you can go one rail, that's usually the better route, unless you have to manufacture an angle, in which case
He's
I'd
trying
prefer
Mass A. He's going to try the Mass A.
succeed. Oh, very good. Yeah, killer result.
Yeah, great result there.
Made the 7. Oh, he made the cue ball behind the 7. A couple ways to score there. He knew he could possibly kick that ball in. He could also kick it into the 10, get action on that, or possibly make the 7. And the 7 would have helped the 10 had he hit the 10 full enough that it banked cross corner. We had a lot of things going on there, and from an ugly position, that's all you can do. It's not 100% success from there, any type of shot that you would choose.
Yeah, he probably a little bit unfortunate that he caught the scratcher, to tell you the truth.
Real hard to do, yeah. Yeah, if we would set him up again, I would bet that you couldn't scratch one time in 20.
Yeah, I agree.
So we use very soft speeds to get the maximum effect here. To do that, you have to have the capacity to hit the very edge of the ball on a lot of the shots that he chooses. That wasn't one of those, but really expands your margin of error, gives you great control.
Yeah, he's right between. Might. No, I guess he can reach it. That 9's kind of where he'd like to put his hand. A little bit of a stretch here.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the side, so it,
The right-handed player would have to use a bridge there.
yeah. You draw back or you go into the rail? What do you like here, Mark?
I think draw back just because you have that hint of the wrong angle. This 10 ball would be for the lead.
And he gets the break.
3-2. The killer.
Killer comes out on top. It has his first lead.
The killer has won this event 2 of the last 3 years. Won it 2 years ago. Then Shane Van Boning won it. And then Josh Filler last year just absolutely dominated the entire Derby. I think he won 3 of the events here. And this was one of them.
It was amazing how last year that Filler, Fetter, and Shane, they dominated so much last year in this event. They all 3 played really great, and they all 3 got down to the end.
Nice break there.
He's been good at making that second ball.
And look at his cue ball checked up dead there, too.
Boy, he's getting good position on this rack. Wow, look at this layout. What's the old saying in poker? I'll play these. He has a little work to do trying to get to the 5 from the 4. And he's got to be a little careful on this, going from the 3 to the 4. Hadn't made up his mind quite what he wants to do with this 2. I would think he wouldn't do too much. He's almost straight in. Except maybe stop it. Basically. You like going between the 4-6 here or go back up to the middle of the table?
Well, I kind of like going up to the middle of the table, but I'm going to default towards whatever Filler chooses. He got just a little funny on this, didn't he, to get on that 5 to get the cue ball to the far side, unless he chooses.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if he can get position where he don't have to deal with the 10 ball, because that 7's right where he'd like to go.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can avoid that.
He's looking to draw, but then the 7 ball becomes a hazard. Oh, nice shot. How's his speed? Pretty good. Pretty good. Good job there. I expanded better than I thought it might off that second cushion. So.
Yeah, it did. I thought it would go shorter, but boy, it did spread pretty good, and he shot hard enough that he was, by playing in the corner pocket, you don't have to deal at all with that 10, and that's the thing he was trying to avoid, is having to cut it in and run into the 10. He did a nice job at it. A little thin here.
Yeah, he kind of let up on his stroke. He realized he got through a real tough circumstance, and he got just a hint lazy on that one. Didn't hit it with that effective ball like I was describing earlier.
Yeah, one thing good about this position's. Ooh.
This could be trouble. I think he got it.
I started to say position was automatic.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
But he found pool can be so frustrating because when you find a spot like this, he caught that a hair fat too. He would have been going a little faster and wouldn't have been
100%.
behind this ball. The way he pocketed that last shot is responsible for this hook because he came up so high. He hit that ball fat, and if he cut it in a little thinner, he'd be out in the middle of the table almost.
It all started when he took a little mental holiday on getting positioned on the 7, though.
Yeah.
And then he forced it, and then,
yeah, that was a big key. So he's going to try to hook him with this. Send the 9 up table and stop it.
Got a man at the table here wearing a Superman shirt, so we know who his favorite is. See him across the way, Nick? Front row, just where Phil sits.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see that. Well, he left himself a blood test here. Boy, he hit that ball too full. That's why pocketing, well, you can make the ball, but it doesn't always get you great position.
This is where the other day Roberto ended up cashing in the match with this type of shot. But preliminary to that, he had a couple of these where he kind of two-staged the 4-swing. And then when he got to this pressure ball, he stepped off to the side and swung a couple times to be smooth. Stayed real smooth there. Good job. Yeah, that's it.
Good shot there. Good pressure shot on the 10 ball.
All right.
That was no gimme.
He's going to take a short player timeout. 3-3 is our score. All right, well, Superman is back. Here we got a look at Roberto Gomez's road to the semifinals here. He beat Mickey Krause 10-8 in his opening match, and then he defeated Levan Corteza 10-5. Levan played at 9:29 his first set. And
was that against Shane?
No. Gerson Martinez beat Shane. Well, I can look it up. I have it right here. Who'd you ask me about, Nick? Martinez first match? Or Gomez
Who
his
played
first
Shane?
match?
Yeah.
Oh, Gerson Martinez played Shane his first match.
Okay.
And Gomez beat Kraus. Another good break. Cubo got chipped back down table.
Yeah. Yeah, he's. Well, the simple safety option here is just roll it to 1, put it over on that rail with the 9, and maybe try to catch the 3. That's the simplest thing. I don't know if there's anything offensive to do here. Now, he elected to hit it thin.
Not a bad outcome.
No.
Certainly he has access to it, but not going to be an easy save. So he's just going to put the cue ball behind the 9 here. Is that? Oh, he hit it too full.
Yeah. I can tell by his body language he's a little disappointed. Yeah, he was trying to go for the 9. He caught it thick. I can't tell how thick he can hit the 1 here, but I guess he's got to play a thin hit. Yeah, he's able to catch that side rail.
Great control.
He's left a pretty easy kick, but kicking it and getting safe is a different story. But or he's looking, he can hit it. He'll probably hit the left side of that 1, try to send it up table, create some separation. Leave the cue ball on the left part of the table. Well, he's left filler a pretty good shot here.
Now he's going to kick it. How long his bridge is. Even just for rolling the ball, he's got a long bridge.
Yeah, he does have.
Swished it right in the middle. Perfect shot.
Now, he does need a good angle on this 4-9 so that he can control where
yeah.
the 4 goes after he makes the combo.
If you get straight where you shoot the 4 straight, then the 4 ball comes back and clatters into the cue ball, and then whether you get a secondary shot is it generally doesn't produce a secondary shot.
Well, you either want to be below to the right of the 4 here. That's what he's elected, but boy. It looks like to me he's almost got a double kiss it. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you get
he
straight on
needs
it.
to be a little lower so that he can just cut it a hair into the 9. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think he can avoid the double kiss. And
Right. He played for this combination. He tried to get here because this makes pocketing the 9 infinitely easier, but it's getting position on the secondary object ball that's the issue now. So he paced it. Oh, pretty nice. Pretty nice job.
yeah, he controlled it pretty good.
Yeah, that was smart.
Well, and he got the cue ball above
Well, a real
the
subtle,
4.
shot there that looked like, well, it's just automatic, but he played for all that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems with combinations. You need such a good angle in order to control the ball that you're making the combination with. You And he didn't have the best angle, but he controlled it with speed really good to get that position.
Mm-hmm. So that started with a very long one ball into the corner pocket. I said he had a super long bridge and chopped through that rack really nice, very smooth. Pretty much looked automatic.
Well, he wins the game, and the break is his turn, and he's in the lead. I believe for the first time he's had the lead. He's either been tied or behind one game. But he kind of broke serve that time. Well, he hasn't been breaking as hard as Roberto, but it seems like he's had a little better control of the white ball. And seems like he's, last time he really got good position on the one. He was a foot from it almost, close to it.
But generating good ball action, too, not just controlling the cue ball. He's still getting a lot out of his break.
Well, he's been making that ball behind the one in that upper side pocket. He's been really hitting that good. And that time it kissed off that ball. And
the 10 ball got way down table. We haven't seen that much.
Huh. All that tells you is the 10 ball couldn't be frozen to the balls around it. If they're all frozen, it don't move hardly at all.
This is a testy decision to make here. It's a thin cut, but
where you go for
right.
position, that's the question here.
Looks to me like he wants to play this thin on the one and put the cue ball down, one cushion or two cushions behind the 4 and 5. Now he's thinking about back cutting the one to get down there.
I think he's going 2 rails for the save.
Oh, he hit it good. What a nice shot. Roberto taps the table with his Q-tip, acknowledging that was a good hit. This is the 12th Bigfoot event that we've ever had. And so there's been 11 events prior to this. There's only been 6 winners. 6 separate people that have won. Shaw and Van Boning have each won this 3 times. Filler's won it 2 out of the last 3. And then it goes to a hodgepodge of individual winners. Orcolo, J.L. Chang, Roberto Gomez, and who am I missing? And that's it. And that was 11. 3, 3, 2, 8, 3. So there has not been very many individual winners of this event. I used to feel like it was kind of like the Jason Shaw benefit tournament here because it pays just as good as any of the other events. He's head and shoulders best chance to win it. Although Filler has now entered into that realm as well as Shane Van Boning. One of the few events that Feder Gorst has never won.
Huh. He finished second, I think, when he's like 18 or something.
Yeah.
Or real young.
16 or 17, yeah.
When he was real young, because I was impressed. I came in and he just finished second in the Bigfoot, and I looked at his phone, and he's watching a pool match in the crowd.
Right.
Just try to come back above a spot there. No, he's going all the way around.
He's have to giddy on up. He did.
Worked out pretty good. I thought it was going to be a little soft for a minute. But he's good for a lefty. Good spot for a left-handed player. I like to play an angle here on the 7 where I can bounce off the rail and play the last 3 balls all in the same pocket. What do you like here, Mark?
Well, I understand. I like what you said, because if you try to get straight in there, sometimes that cue ball lodges up on the side rail, and then you can't do much with the cue ball. So you might as well just go ahead and punch out and not have to deal with ever having that as an issue. There's really not any more difficulty to it.
Well, when he pockets this 10, he's going to pull into a 2-game lead. It's the first time in the match anybody's had a 2-game lead.
5-3.
You know, right before that last match last night, I got introduced to a guy that had been president of the University of Kentucky for 10 years, and he was president when my older son Chris was going to school there. And my son Chris told me that he said, "I hope you come up sometime and can meet him, because he loves pool." And boy, he really did. He sweat that last match last night, and I got to talk to him, and he's from about an hour from where I live, close to Madisonville, Kentucky, and he got his doctorate in electrical engineering from the University of Kentucky. I'm sorry, MIT.
Yeah, impressive credentials. You said he remembered Chris too, right?
Yeah, and he may look up my daughter. She worked for the University of Kentucky Pharmacy right today. She's employed by the University of Kentucky as a pharmacist for the University of Kentucky Pharmacy.
Low ball here. He's trying to get all the way across.
Wow, what a nice shot that was. He came within a whisker of that 6 ball there. That would have been almost catastrophe. He hit that, but boy, what a nice position on this 2.
And it was much easier to just play the conservative, just get back towards the center of the table, because then you can warp it away from the 6. But he did not play it conservatively, and he got the benefit of much easier time playing position on the subsequent balls.
Well, he could have got a little thin going to the middle of the table. If he gets a little lower than that, that cue ball's going to have.
There's the uncharacteristic. Every once in a while, Gomez will move his bridge hand or not have a pause. He'll make the tremendous shots, and then just every once in a while there'll be just a flicker.
Yeah, that's certainly uncharacteristic. I'd almost already marked this one up on the scoreboard for him this game after that first great possession shot on the 2.
Yeah. You just don't expect it. Psychologically, it's very damaging, too. If Filler can get out from here and steal this game, boy, Gomez knows he really gave one away, and he's already behind 2 games. Momentum, shifts, and it's kind of like you wouldn't think it would know, but somehow you end up, after you give a game or 2 away, it's so easy to have a couple other misfortunes happen. Once luck turns against you on top of you miss a couple, you can really snowball.
Yeah, usually you get punished pretty good when you give up a game you're supposed to get. Usually there's no free lunch for that. Usually you pay the price. Well, first of all, instead of a 1-game lead, it's going to be a 3-game lead. That's a monster difference, but to begin with.
And then say that Filler's productive off the break. And maybe he doesn't get a good shot, but he makes a ball, and then he plays a good safety. Then Roberto kicks and hits it, and then Filler's back in, and he runs that rack. It's kind of like, boy, those mistakes can really compound in a hurry before you get a chance to even have the opportunity to make another mistake, let alone a good run out. Yep, he made him pay. 6-3 is our score. Now, the good thing is Roberto does have a cheerful, positive disposition, and that really helps him to get through some of these because it's invariable with him. He always has one or two of those lapses in a match.
Yeah, he just looked at the score and
here we get a look at the TPA. So Filler's pocketed 57 balls to Gomez's 29. That's a big differential there. Look at that. No, 934 to 806. And 806 isn't bad.
and 7 errors to 4 errors. So
that ball's pocketed.
problem with them errors is those usually result in a loss of a game.
Yeah. The ball differential. When
Yeah.
someone's pocketed twice as many balls as you have, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, because one advantage of pocketing a lot of balls is when one comes up a little difficult, I think it gives you a better chance to make it. Now, that time that 9 ball came up too high for the side, it missed it, so. I don't know which ball, let's see, which ball he did make, but one thing, even though Roberto's been hitting them harder, Filler's been controlling, I think been getting, controlling the balls, especially the white ball, so much better.
The 9 ball does not completely obstruct the side pocket, but it does. It's in your periphery. There's a little static. It only blocks about maybe 10% of the pocket, maybe 15% of the pocket opening. But if you get worried about it, it's like a magnet. You'll hit the 9 every time. So you got to be really single-minded when you go through here. Gorgeous shot.
Yeah, it's easy to cut that 2 into the 9 in that case, so. But he didn't.
Man.
And like you say, that momentum has really got strong on his. That miss on that 4 is.
His position play makes it where, even though he has tremendous firepower, he doesn't rely on it now. And it's just smothering for the other guy because now, just like we were talking about, here's a good chance he's going to break and run out right behind that unforced error by Gomez.
Yeah. Gomez didn't even make it to the table. So that error is really costed. And
Yeah, one of the only egregious errors that we saw Filler make was when he didn't get position on the 7, and then you remember he hooked himself on getting on the secondary ball, whatever that was, the 9 ball or something. The 9 ball blocked him.
Yeah.
I recall. But other than that, he's been pretty much on the mark in every match.
yeah, he's going to open up a 4-game lead here. And
Filler continues
Yeah.
to roll.
That's what happens. Is what we're talking about. It can easily compound when the unforced error creeps in there. One of our favorite fans, pretty cool guy too, Dennis Walker, wants to know, what is an error? How do you describe it? Well, an error in the TPA is going to be anytime you foul, whatever the foul might be, a bad kick or a scratch on the break or a scratch just in play. And then if you miss a ball, that's an error. If you're running out and play bad position, that's going to be a position error. Or if you try to play safe and your opponent makes a ball, that's going to be a safety error. So that's what your errors are. Okay, Roberto needs to let everything go. 2 and the 3 on the corners, 4 and 5 right behind the 1.
Boy, he hit that so square.
Made the 6.
No position.
Didn't get position, but got a chance to do something here as far as defensively.
I think here what I'd do is I can hold it for the 2. I'd play this 2 rails cross corner.
Oh, nice. Yeah, if we can grab the overhead real quick. You show what Nick's
Let's
talking
see what
about.
he'd do. He may play it. He's either
Nick's talking
playing
about
safe.
playing the 1 here to here and then hold the cue ball down here like this.
Because, man, he's behind 4 games. He needs to, but he's going for the safe. He's going up table.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's going to kick off that side rail. I think he's got a good chance to kick safe here. If he hits that full, he might even hook him with the 3. I don't think he has to hit this real hard either.
So, yeah, so you're saying soft. Well, he's
But
queuing
no,
down like he's going to warp it in there.
Yeah, he is going to hit it hard, I guess. Well, I think he's trying to hit it low to kill it.
Well,
Is
great
what the
job.
low.
What a great job that was from there. We were talking about this the other day. This is where you're going to start about 2/3 of your pro innings, so you better start practicing from this arrangement, end rail to end rail type thing, and defend yourself. What a
I think
nice
that's
job.
one of the major differences between the pros and the amateurs is just because you hook them don't mean you're going to get something easy. A lot of amateur players think, oh, boy, I hooked him. I'm going to get ball in hand. But against these guys, you got a good chance to come back rehooked.
Right. All right, Gomez finally won this exchange of tactical pool.
Yeah, just laying a little funny, though, for position. He's got a bad bridge and a stretch, and then he needs to move his ball unless he stops here. Boy, that makes the 2 tough.
And getting on the 3 tough, too. But he did.
That's about the best he could do. He really did really good. I think that was a good choice there, not to force it. What do you think, Mark? And,
Yeah.
Not the easiest shot on the 2 ball, but it's certainly it's like shooting at the 10 ball to me, making this 2 here.
Gorgeous shot there.
He hit it perfect. Now, do you play this in the or the 4s over there, isn't it? So he can come across, play it in the side of the corner. Oh, I like that. Just roll it in, nice and easy. It's he's looking a long time. He must be worried about it stopping in time.
Mm-hmm. Like there's a hint more angle.
Oh, you overcut it too.
Yeah.
Got a little more speed.
Yeah, he was planning on coming up about 8 inches short of where he's at so he could come tracking around 3 rails to get on the 8. Now, it's not going to be as easy to get on the 8.
Nah, he's got to hit this pretty good speed because that 9 won't go in that upper left pocket. He's got to get up for the 8. No, he's leaving
Went
it.
for the corner. Smart. Yeah, he didn't try to force it. He was able to capture this little hint
Like
of an
to
angle.
stop about a half an inch sooner, you know, so he could slide across.
I think he can still slide across. Well,
You think so?
he's going to have to thump it. No, he's going to draw back for the side, he indicates. So it is straighter than I thought.
I think he's. What's he doing? Is he going to shoot toward a smaller pocket, I guess? Because I'm sure that 10's blocking part of that hole. I can't see from this angle, but.
Nice. Roberto Gomez.
Roberto needed that one.
Really nice. Won the tactical exchange and then captured the game from
Nice
that.
safety battle. Gomez comes out on top of that one.
Look at Filler, 944 TPA. Gomez is a very respectable 848.
Boy, he'd like to have that 4-ball back. The score would be 6-5. Not much difference, being a little sarcastic.
Yeah. I like it, though. Gomez got his head in the game. That was a pretty nice safety exchange in that early going, too.
Yeah, and he came out on top. Okay, now he seems to got the 5 on one side and the 8 on the other behind the 1. Let's see if he continues to make one of those. Not the 8, he missed them both.
Okay. Roberto gets to
Roberto's
come to the
got to
table.
be happy here that, because he's been controlling that 1 pretty good in the cue ball. But boy, that 2 looks a little tough. Having to play a combination. He needs to be all the way across. He could have got that extra 2-3 inches there is monstrous. He's even got to use the bridge on this. I don't think it goes by. No, it don't go by the 7.
But I think he can make this. I feel like he's the favorite to make it.
Oh man, he's going to have to show us that Superman power here.
Yeah. Looking right down the line. There's not much. There's not much. I think it's going to be low right, and the cue ball's going to track right at the 3, 1 rail. I don't think he can stun down the long rail. He's queuing up like he can stun. Nope, he tried to center ball, spin it down.
He's almost got to try to not only make this 3 unless he plays safe, but run into the 6. No, he's...
Here we are, Andrew.
I wouldn't have thought about safety there. That surprises me a little bit, straight as this guy shoots. Because winning this exchange could be turn out, well, this game's big if he could win this game.
He had Filler in a spot there, and
Yeah.
you can see he
Yeah.
wasn't easy to deal with.
Right.
Plenty tough shot here, though.
The good part about this is you can put almost all your attention on pocketing the ball, the shape. You're going to be close to the 4.
Nice. Nice hit there.
Well, let's see if he can get this 4 in. This 4 is what dug the deep hole for him. Nice. Very nice. I like going forward here, but it looks like, yeah.
There it is. That's the little, every once in a while, it's an unforced error. He made a lot of good things happen there prior to that one. The one shot that, you just don't feel like he's threatened by. He kind of gets misgivings mid-shot, worried about not bumping the 8 or avoiding something, picking up an angle, and then he kind of slashes his cue to the side. What is he doing? He shot right straight into the scratch. It was bizarre.
Did he think he could catch the end rail?
He kind of decelerated into it, I think, is what happened. He kind of decelerated. See how it's kind of a poke over there? Always when you're embarrassed like that, you always have to blame.
I know what happened there. He didn't want to make. He wanted to hit it easy enough that both balls didn't go in.
Right.
And that's what caused the misexecution. He didn't want both balls to fall in, and he ended no man's land on the 6.
Yeah. If he puts enough draw on there, then you risk.
If he draws to the side rail, that additional speed, if he hits the bottom half of the ball, it comes up by the 6.
Gotcha.
Boy, that... Yeah, Roberto can count his lucky stars this game after missing that 5. 7-5, and his break. Break and run out here. Keep the is big here because it lets Filler know that he was in striking distance here.
Yeah.
I think if he hit him the same way he's hitting them and just hit them slightly easier, he might get better action. What do you think, Mark?
Well,
I mean, he's been killing that ball.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to try something.
And he is the Buddhist who defeated Fedor Gorst for a chance to go to the.
Of course, the question is, how do you take speed off the break? The way I always did it, I just shortened up my bridge. I didn't change my stroke. I just shortened my bridge so I couldn't hit him quite as hard.
Trailing 7-5.
Big break in this match. He's down 2 games, and he can pull within 1 here. 7 and 8 are behind the 1. Let's see if any of those go. No, they both came short of that side.
He didn't take any of the power off, that's for sure. He went all out for it.
He mishit the 1 a little bit.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
He didn't hit it a square.
He might have even added a little power or attempted to.
Yeah, he mishit the 1. The best thing I can say, Filler's got a tough shot. He's either got to hit a little off speed if he tries to cut it. He don't want to get up there and get tangled up with that 8ers. He elected to duck. He's really done a good job on this defense, huh?
Yeah.
That wasn't the easiest safety. That was a pretty tough safety there. In fact, I'm a little surprised. I'm not so sure that safety wasn't tougher than making the ball.
Right. Yeah, that, a couple times I mentioned he hasn't displayed his supreme firepower, but that did require supreme firepower to hit it that accurately to get safe.
Well, defensive-wise, the best thing about that shot you can say is the cue ball's close to the rail, but he's pretty full.
Beautiful shot.
There, steady as a rock.
Man, not easy to do.
Yeah, that shot to me is almost like in this rack shooting at the 10. Such a key shot.
Nice little stun and trickle forward.
Well, I still can't get how good that safety was out of my mind on that one ball. Now, does he stay underneath here and go 2 rails and get on top? Because, yeah, that was nicely done there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, he couldn't afford to come off 1 rail. He'd be running to the 9, and that would create big-time problems.
Now the question is, do you try to drag it along the long rail and get down table, or do you try to play for the combination?
No, you're going to play the combo, but you got to be careful. If you overcut this 7 a little, it could end up behind the 10. Yeah, he did good.
Boy, he did too. Very smooth.
I can't tell what he can do here, but he doesn't seem to be all that concerned. Yeah, just bounce off. But yeah, he wouldn't mind having a hair more angle.
Yeah, the issue
I
was
guess he's not too concerned.
if he tried to draw back, now the side pocket gets in play, so he didn't want to fool with that.
I thought he might have stunned it with a little more speed to come up table, but
Beautiful.
he seemed plenty confident.
Yeah. Now, he made a lot of good shots in that rack, and it began with a safety play, but then that combination to control the secondary object ball, he did a good job with that. And then his decision throughout the rest of the rack, excellent. 8-5 is the score.
Eight, 5. Good as he's been playing, that's he's going to be hard to catch.
It's nickvarner.com. Is that how I get a hold of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you have 760 in stock, right?
Yeah, 860, 760.
All right. I'll be getting a 10-foot 760 here shortly. Blue.
I got you covered, Mark.
All right. Okay, Filler has that ball on the break. He has a pretty nice shot at the 1. Not easy to control the cue ball, however.
Yeah, I don't know if he can hit the left side of that 8 or avoid.
Yeah, I love it.
He's playing safe.
Yeah, I love it.
He's not taking any prisoners.
Nope. There will be no free lunches from the old Filler camp here. Look at that. That's going to be tough now. Do anything great with.
No, he can't hit it.
He goes by the 6, maybe. Yeah, that's what he's
Maybe
looking
you got to
at.
go for the jump on the 1-5 here.
Ugh.
Huh?
Oh, no, you can't use a jump cue.
No, but he can do it with that carbon fiber shaft he's playing with. He's got plenty of room to get over the edge of that ball. He's only got to go over about half of it.
Look at this. Oh, my goodness. This would be the shot of the match if you.
Oh, wow.
You're going to have to
The reason
warp.
I like the jump shot is lots of good things can happen. You could make the 5. Who knows? You're going to have to shoot hard, so who knows where the 1's actually going to end up and the cue ball.
No,
Boy, this is like this is
Yeah.
like threading a needle here.
Would you say 1 out of 20, maybe? No, seriously.
No,
would
yeah, I don't think you're too far off. Wow. Wow, how tough is this shot?
It is. Anton Washington, Casey Massey, to the tournament, please.
Foul, illegal contact with the 9.
Wait a minute. It's the same color.
Yeah, that shot that Filler played, really heady, wasn't it? He had a shot on the 1, but he knew he couldn't control the cue ball. He hemmed him up. Now he comes to the table, ball in hand, and this is what he did yesterday. He just converted all these ball in hand circumstances.
Yeah, I think the most impressive part, a lot of things have been impressive about his play, but his decision making and then execution, them safeties has been outstanding.
Yeah, it's like his maturity has risen right before our eyes here, making really sound decisions.
Well, we say that he hasn't shot a hard shot, and maybe that's because his position plays, just speed has been so outstanding.
Yep, one of the hardest.
This is
shots.
probably one of the hardest shots coming up. He's got to cut to 4 so much.
He did make that long rolling ball in the last rack, but the safety was even harder than both of these things. The safety he played, that was a super hard shot. He hits that cue ball so pure, he gets a little bit more spin volume for various speeds than other players do. And that gives him the capacity to work the cue ball in slightly different fashions and with comfort.
You think that's maybe where that, think that longer bridge has anything to do with that? Or?
Well, usually the longer bridge has to do with power as opposed to, but maybe it helps his fluidity. I don't know.
I tell you, I'm amazed every time this guy has missed a ball, which is not very often, but
Yeah.
he's played so good.
And one thing to bear in mind, when you hang that 5 ball here, that's down on a 4.5 by 9. It doesn't hang on a 4.5 by 9 because the margin of error is so much greater.
Yeah.
So he's not missing by much, and you can imagine he's a beast on a 4.5 by 9.
Well, once again, Roberto has a chance to cut it to 2 games, and if he can break and run out, he can keep the pressure on Filler. It's always nice to keep your opponent where he can feel you breathing down his neck.
Yeah.
Well, both these 2 players are some fun to watch, huh?
Yeah, fast, to make that decisive. Yeah, it's very entertaining. And then, Gomez's personality is also very endearing to hang out. That's why, you got a guy my age down there wearing a Superman shirt. Because he's a fun guy,
Yeah.
You like to be associated with people like that. He's got that positive magnetism.
Yeah, I run into him around the country, and in fact ran into him in Orlando right after that International Open in St. Augustine. And God, he comes up, gives you a big hug and a smile from Jacksonville to Orlando.
Yeah. Oh, he wakes up singing karaoke. I mean, he does. He's just always in a positive, good frame of mind, cheerful.
Yeah, I bet he tries to hit this a little more square here.
Well, he got a little spin on the cue ball, so he didn't get quite the ball action. Did he make something for?
He made
he did.
one.
Yeah.
He's pretty thin on this one, but boy, if he could make that and go up and down, I don't think he can stop this in time for the 2. I think he's going to have to go 2 rails with a rake. That was just...
Yeah.
One thing, he put the premium on making the 1 there. He kind of let the cue ball go a little bit, didn't he? That was such a thin hit.
Yeah.
Tough. But now what do you do? The 3-6. 3 doesn't go by the 6. And it's hard for him to get close and make this 2, especially in the side. But he looked like he wanted a little more angle.
Boy, I don't know about
This
this.
is a monster tough shot here. This is.
And then the 4 ball kind of takes away that 3 rail around the table safety. If you like, say you stop the 3, hit a stop shot or stun forward and bank it 3 or 4 rails around the table to get down on the other end rail. It's not really there.
Is he trying to make it cross corner?
Oh, nice decision though. Control the cue ball, like it. Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Awful good speed there, huh?
Yeah. Okay. We got a short player timeout as Filler is going to use his.
Now, can you cross the 3 and let the cue ball go over to that 3rd or diamond and then bring the 3? I hate to bring it up by that 4, though. I think I'd rather try to keep a 3 in the cue ball on this end of the table.
I was thinking maybe cross it super thin and put the 3 by the 9, go 1 rail. But
oh, that's pretty good.
well, I mean, it's hard to do. You can miss the entire 3 doing it.
Yeah, you don't want to give him ball and paw.
Right, anything but that. So
He seems like he knows what he wants to do. I didn't realize he can shoot straight at the 3. If that's the case, just roll it to the end rail, huh?
yeah.
And get him with the 9, if that's possible.
I was thinking he had to go rail first. So.
I did too. I didn't think he could hit enough of this 3 because that's too easy. I don't know what he'd be thinking about right now if that was on.
Yeah, he's now looking at going rail first.
Might get him with the 9 here. No, he tried to cross it.
That was pretty good. Where he was at, that's not a bad decision. Some good things could have happened.
Well, it's pretty tough to get position here. Not to mention pocketing the 3 is pretty challenging. It's certainly no duck soup. Making the 3, and it's kind of laying funny for position, but.
Quality effort, just a hard shot.
Yeah, he hit it. He missed it too good.
Yep.
It's hanging. Yeah, it was a tough shot.
This got ugly.
Tell you what, this is certainly thinner than he would like. He come within a whisker of that 9 ball. That would have been catastrophe running into that. But I guess he realized that. That's why he decided to go with more speed to make it go longer. I like just rolling this 6 in and taking a shot in those upper 2 pockets. What do you like here, Mark?
Well, yeah, I'm like you. Just cinch it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what he did.
Yeah, you kind of need to hit it a little harder or a little softer. He's kind of on the 50 here. I guess he'll just punch it in and try to keep it from getting too thick. Or I don't think you can afford to go all the way across and back. What do you think?
Well, it looks like he's going to try to go over and across. I'm like you. I'd go in the other corner just to hold the cue ball here.
Yeah.
Whew. Wow, he even overcut it and held it. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah, he could stop it at least a foot shorter.
Right. I didn't think it was going to rattle on in, but it did. He had the perfect speed to expand the pocket.
Yeah.
Boy, he hit that nice.
Yeah, that was pretty clean.
Yeah, very easy to miss that ball.
Well, this game, if he can get this 10 down, he'll be on the hill in this match with the 3-game lead. And he gets the break coming up.
Okay.
So he's got a chance to leave Roberto in his chair
One game away
and end the match.
to the championship here in the Bigfoot 10 ball.
I don't know if Billy Ann Cardona is tuned in, but if he is, Nick and I say hi. Hope you get feeling well soon.
And we miss you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's ever missed a Derby City.
Well, he adds so much character and flavor to it. I was hoping to see him here. A real credit to our sport.
Yeah, he always brings a lot of fun to when he shows up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Dunked it in the side. That's going to be the player's fault as opposed to a misfortune on the kisses. It goes directly in.
Well, a lot of people think in this case 9-6, you can't win, but if he can run out here, break and run out, who knows what's liable to happen at the end.
Yeah.
Now that 5, getting on the 5 to get on the 6, that's going to be a challenge here. Oh, I think he got too thin on this. I would have thought he would have wanted, I'm sure he was trying to get straight in so he could roll forward, but wow, that creates a big time problem. Big decision. Oh, what a great touch.
Man.
What a great touch.
You even had to hit the thin side of the pocket to get that to go forward enough. You couldn't hit it down the rail.
What a nice shot that was. I love that execution,
Yeah.
coming up with such a good shot on that bumping that's able to bump that 5 ball and get such good shape. And I know he loved it, but boy, I think he might, looks like to me he's going the wrong way a little here. Is he going to come up for the side?
I think he's drawing. Trying to get straight back, yeah.
Yeah. I guess you just come off one rail here to go 3. He wants a little angle here. He may have to go forward with
Ugh.
the power here. He found
Got
the worst spot on the table.
yeah.
He might have to hit this with a hard follow stroke
Oh,
here.
man. That's ugly. Oh, yeah. I don't even know if he can do much with this at all. You have to take great risk. He's going to
Yeah,
power
looks
draw.
like he's going to power draw it.
He got it in the exact wrong spot there. He maybe had a hint the wrong angle, if anything.
He's going to cut this in the side and go 3 rails.
How's his speed? Not good. He's going to make another good shot. He's looking up at the stars like, why would I baby that one?
Yeah, and you might have to use a hint of right-hand English
Yeah.
here. It's side pockets in play here.
Right.
If you hit this 10 a little thick. And maybe if you just hit it in the center, but he
Well, it was a weak
hit it
grip.
perfect.
Yeah.
That was a great match.
Yeah, really, it was the unforced errors. Roberto was right in that match. He probably gave away 2 games on the unforced errors. So.
2 games, it'd be 8-8. We'd still be playing.
But he did a lot of great things, too. You know,
Yeah.
he got a couple games probably he wasn't supposed to have. Filler clearly playing well. Okay, this has been an ACCUSTATS video presentation, the worldwide leader in billiards programming. That is our time for this time. Until next time, so long.